No D, no problem. It makes me love you even more. I just don't know how to tell him that because I don't want to destroy our friendship. My best friend Rory, 30, is sometimes really unlucky. He comes from an abusive family. When he was 15, he moved in with me and my parents, so we grew up practically like siblings. He got a good school degree and landed a pretty good job. Unfortunately, he is an absolute idiot, compensating for his insecurities and depression with adrenaline. I wasn't particularly thrilled that he got his motorcycle license. But he promised to be careful. When his father died, it hit him so hard that he probably overdid it a bit with the speed. He had an accident and was seriously injured. He lost his D compensating for the loneliness and emotional neglect he endured from his parents with the attention of women. Mommy issues are a thing, was practically impossible for him now. Not that the girls were poorly treated. Quite the opposite. I know some of his former lovers, and most of them still rave about him years later. He always clarifies that it will only be a one-night stand and that he has no interest in a relationship. I once asked him why. He just said that I'm the only woman in his life. I found that kind of cute. Back to his D, various operations went wrong, so he no longer has one. He did what every good man does, attention, sarcasm, and tried to overcome the loss with substances and alcohol. I put a stop to the whole thing when he vomited his heart out in my apartment for the 4th time in a week. He got a stern talking to from me. This caused a lot of tears and promises of abstinence. In return, I promised to show him how to compensate for his loss. When he managed to behave for 4 weeks, I invited him to a little beauty weekend. It was nice to see him relax and calm down a bit. After a great dinner, I showed him my toy collection and explained that he was in a fantastic position to give his future playmates the choice of which D to serve them with. He was initially skeptical, but after a while, he really enjoyed it. Me too. A lot. Then I gave him a digression on the subject of prostate and butt stuff for men and showed him various ways of combining both so that intimacy was fun again. Of course, Rory got back on horseback and met a charming lady. Louisa. She is adorable, and the two had a lot of fun. He then told me all about the date. I have to admit I was jealous. It wasn't me that made his eyes light up and healed the last bit of broken ego. That's when I realized I was in deep poop. I had hoped that this would make him turn to me completely. I knew years ago that I was a little bit in love with him. I was hoping it would lessen over time. But Rory is one of the good guys. Honest, loving, and loyal. And now that he's shed every last bit of toxic masculinity because he didn't have a D to compensate for anything, he's just perfect. At least in my eyes. What should I do?